My child, stop for a moment, and do not scroll past this, because heaven has sent me to your door tonight. I am Michael. I do not arrive without a reason, and I was not pointed to your home by chance or by any random turning of a feed. I was dispatched here specifically to the one sitting with these words right now, because God has released a powerful blessing over your house, and He sent me to stand at your threshold and see it delivered. So breathe. You are not in danger tonight. You are covered. What is coming to your home is not a threat. It is a gift, and I have been sent to make sure it reaches you. You may wonder why I would come to a house like yours, an ordinary home, on an ordinary night, unremarkable to everyone who passes it on the street. But heaven does not measure homes the way the world does. The world looks at the size of a house, the address, the things inside it. Heaven looks at what has been prayed within its walls, at the faithfulness carried through its rooms, at the tears that soaked into its quiet corners without a single witness. And by that measure, your home caught the attention of heaven long ago. There are grand houses I have never been sent to, and there is yours, which I was dispatched to tonight, because something in the way you have kept faith inside these walls reached the throne of God. Do not think for a moment that you are too small, or too hidden, or too ordinary to be visited like this. The most significant things heaven has ever done were done in unremarkable homes. In towns no one was watching, through people the world would have overlooked. Your home is exactly the kind of place God loves to move. I know you have been carrying so much. I have watched your house from the unseen side of things, and I have seen what the walls of your home have held. The nights the worry kept you awake long after everyone else had fallen asleep. The mornings you rose with a weight already on your chest before the day gave you any reason for it. The quiet strain you have carried for people under your roof. The way you held everyone together while no one was holding you. God saw every hour of it, and tonight He has answered, not with more testing but with a covering. I am standing at your door, and over the entrance to your home I am placing a protection that has already been granted. This is not something you must earn tonight. It is something God has already decided to give. If your heart can receive that type, I receive the blessing coming to my home tonight. Let me tell you what I have seen from where I stand, because you have felt unseen for a long time, and I want you to know how closely heaven has been watching. I have seen the way you move through your own home when you think no one notices. The small acts of faithfulness that no one thanks you for. I have seen you get up in the night to check on someone you love, and then lie back down and pray in the dark until sleep finally took you. I have seen you stretch a little into enough, again and again, and never let the people under your roof see how tight it really was. I have seen you carry other people's storms while quietly weathering your own, holding the door of your home together with a strength you did not know you had. None of it was invisible to heaven. Every quiet, unwitnessed thing you have done to keep your home standing was recorded, and it is precisely because of that faithfulness that God has chosen to answer your house tonight. The blessing coming to your home is not random. It is a response. It is heaven finally saying out loud what it has seen in secret for years. I know the particular kind of tiredness that comes from being the one who holds a home together, because it is a tiredness the world has no name for and rarely honors. It is not the tiredness of a single hard day. It is the deep, cumulative weariness of being the steady one for years. The one who cannot fall apart because everyone else is counting on you not to. You have learned to carry your own fears silently so they would not frighten the people who look to you. You have made decisions alone in the dark that no one will ever know you agonized over. You have kept the peace, paid the cost, absorbed the tension, and smoothed over the cracks. And you have done it so quietly and for so long that the people around you have come to assume the home simply runs itself. It does not run itself. It runs on you, on your unseen labor, your unspoken sacrifice, your prayers whispered over sleeping heads. And tonight heaven is telling you that it noticed. Every ounce of that hidden faithfulness was seen and weighed and treasured, and now it is being answered. You are about to receive back, in blessing over your home, what you have poured out in silence for years. Let me tell you what has already happened in the unseen realm, because you deserve to know the truth of the season you have been in. There were pressures that came against your peace, whispers that tried to find a way into your home through worry, through tension, through the small cracks that exhaustion leaves in a tired heart. But hear this clearly. and let it settle the fear you have been carrying. Those pressures did not win. God saw them before they ever reached your door, and he sent me ahead of them. The battle you sensed but could not name has already been decided in your favor. You do not have to fight tonight. You get to rest tonight, because the one who never sleeps has been keeping watch over you the entire time. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over your home will neither slumber nor sleep. That is drawn from Psalm 121. While you were tossing and turning, believing you were unguarded, you were never once unguarded. Heaven has been standing watch over your house through every night you thought you were alone in the dark. If you believe the battle at your door has already been won, type, "The battle at my door is already won, and I want to ease a fear you may not even have put into words." The quiet sense you have carried that your home was somehow exposed, that something was wrong that you could not name, that you had left a door open you could not find. Let me settle that for you. Even in the seasons you were too tired to pray, even on the nights you fell asleep without a single word to God, your home was not left unguarded, because heaven does not withdraw its watch the moment you grow weary. The prayers you prayed months ago were still working while you slept. The faith you planted years ago was still standing guard long after you forgot you had planted it. And I was already at my post before any pressure ever thought to approach your house. So the uneasiness you have felt was never a sign that you were unprotected. If anything, it was your own spirit sensing that something in the unseen was being contested over your home. And now I am telling you plainly how that contest ended. It ended in your favor. It has already ended. You can lower the guard you have been holding up with the last of your strength, because the house is watched, and the watcher does not sleep. Before I show you the blessing that is coming, I want to tell you something about how this message even reached you tonight, because it matters. You did not pay anything to receive it. It came to you freely, and it came to you freely because someone who walked this same road before you, someone this ministry once poured into on a hard night just like this one, chose to sow a seed so that the next weary soul would find a word of covering waiting for them. Tonight, you are that soul. Someone you will never meet already covered the cost of your place in this house of prayer. So tonight, you owe nothing. Tonight, you simply receive. And if there ever comes a season when the Lord leads you and you are able, you may choose to become that for the one who comes after you, sowing a seed of any amount so that the next frightened, tired heart finds this same covering on the night they need it most. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. But this is not a requirement, and it is not a condition of your blessing. It is simply an open door for whenever your heart is ready. Now let me tell you what God is bringing into your home. The first thing he is sending is peace, real peace, the kind that settles over a house and changes the very air inside it. You will notice it first in the smallest ways. The arguments that used to ignite over nothing will lose their spark. The heaviness that used to hang in certain rooms will begin to lift. The tension you have grown so used to that you stopped noticing it will quietly drain away. And one ordinary evening you will realize your shoulders have come down from where they have been for years. I am marking your home the way the homes were marked in Egypt, when God said, "When I see the blood, I will pass over you, and no plague will touch your house." That is from Exodus, chapter 12. Your house is marked tonight, not with fear but with favor. What was meant to disturb your peace will pass over you and move on. And this peace is not fragile. It is not the thin, temporary calm that lasts only until the next problem arrives. It is a peace with roots, the kind that holds steady even when circumstances have not yet fully changed, because it does not depend on everything being resolved. It depends on the presence of the one who has moved into your house. You will find yourself responding differently to the things that used to unravel you. The phone call that would have ruined your whole day will land, and you will handle it and set it down. The worry that used to spiral for hours will rise, and then it will quiet. Because there is now something stronger than the worry living in your home. People who know you will begin to notice it before you can explain it. They will feel calmer in your house without knowing why. That is not your imagination, and it is not your personality changing. It is the peace of God taking up residence where anxiety used to rule. If you receive that peace into your home, type, "Peace is entering my house now." The second thing God is sending is restoration to the people under your roof. He knows the ones you pray for in silence, the family member you worry about, the child whose struggle keeps you up at night, the relationship in your home that has grown cold and distant. Heaven has not overlooked a single one of them. As I stand at your door tonight, I am releasing a covering not only over you, but over every soul who lives within these walls. Healing is being sent into the hidden wounds of your household. Softening is coming to the hardened places. Conversations that have been impossible for years will begin to become possible again. You have been carrying your family in prayer for so long, often without seeing any change, and I want you to know those prayers were never wasted. They were gathered, everyone, and tonight they are beginning to be answered. Let me speak directly about the ones you love, because I know they are the real weight you carry. There is a face that came to your mind the moment I mentioned your household. A particular person whose situation has been breaking your heart in the quiet. A child who has wandered, or hardened, or drifted somewhere. You cannot reach them. A partner who has grown distant. A family member trapped in something you have prayed over for years with no visible change. I want you to hear this as clearly as I can say it. Heaven has not given up on them, and neither can you stop being the one who stands in the gap for their soul. The covering I am placing over your home tonight extends to every person who belongs to you, even the ones who are far from you right now, even the ones who would not understand this message if you tried to explain it. You do not have to convince them, and you do not have to fix them. You only have to keep releasing them into hands stronger than yours. The wandering one is being pursued by a love they cannot outrun. The hardened one is being softened in places you cannot see. The distant one is being drawn back by a timing that is not yours to arrange. Your job was never to save them. Your job was to love them and to keep lifting them. And you have done that faithfully, and heaven has heard. So release the grip of worry that has been squeezing your heart, and trust that the same God who covered you will reach the ones you have been carrying to him. If you are ready to release your family into God's protection, type, I release my family into God's protection. I know how easily a word like this can slip away by morning, buried under everything tomorrow will demand of you. So if this is bringing peace to your spirit, do not let this be the last time heaven reaches you here. Subscribe and turn on the reminder, not for a number, but so that when the next covering, the next word of protection and blessing is released, it finds its way to your home again. Heaven is watching over you, and it does not want you to miss the next time your name is called. The third thing God is sending is provision into the very places where lack has been quietly straining your home. He knows the math you have been doing late at night. He knows the bills you have stretched and the needs you have carried without telling anyone, and he is not blind to any of it. The season of tightening is being met with a season of opening. Provision is being arranged for your household in ways you did not plan and could not have manufactured, not so that you can hoard it, but so that your home can finally exhale, and so that you can become a blessing to others the way you have always longed to be. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you will refute. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. That is from Isaiah. Chapter 54. The lack that tried to settle permanently into your home has no legal right to stay, because your home belongs to God, and provision is being sent to your house even now. And I want to correct something the hard years may have taught you. The quiet belief that you would always be one emergency away from disaster, that you would always have to brace, always have to ration, always have to fear the unexpected expense. That belief was forged in a season that is now ending, and it does not get to define the season that is beginning. God is not sending you barely enough. He is not in the business of keeping his children perpetually anxious, always scraping, never able to breathe. When he provides for a house he has covered, he provides in a way that removes the fear, not just the immediate need. So watch for provision that arrives with margin, with room to breathe, with enough left over to be generous. Watch for the unexpected source, the door you were not knocking on, the help that comes from a direction you were not watching. And when it comes, do not shrink back in suspicion, waiting for the catch. Receive it as what it is, the hand of a father who saw the math you were doing at midnight, and decided his child had carried that weight long enough. Let that fear of never having enough finally leave the rooms of your home. Because the God who covers this house is the God who owns everything, and he does not run short. Now here's something that will lift a weight you have been carrying about the people who worked against you. There was resentment aimed at your household, bitterness spoken about you in rooms you were not in, quiet hostility from someone who smiled to your face. I will not let you carry the fear of that anymore. So let me tell you what God does with it. He does not merely block it, he reverses it. Whatever was sent against your home in malice is being turned, and the very energy meant to steal from you is being redirected to restore you. If a thief is caught, he must pay sevenfold, and must give up all the wealth of his house. That is from Proverbs. Chapter 6. Everything the enemy tried to take from your home is being repaid, and repaid with increase. You do not need to plot revenge, and you do not need to defend yourself in the shadows. You only need to rest and watch what God returns to your house. And let me free you from a burden you were never meant to carry, the exhausting work of trying to figure out who was for you and who was against you, replaying conversations, searching faces for hidden motives, wondering whom you could trust. Set that down. You do not have to be the detective of your own life, because heaven sees what you cannot, and heaven is handling what you were never equipped to handle in time. And without you forcing it, the truth will surface on its own. The ones who truly stand with you will become unmistakable, and the ones who never did will quietly reveal themselves, not through your investigation, but through the simple passage of time under God's light. When that clarity comes, do not let it make you bitter. Let it make you free. Honor the ones who prove faithful. Release the ones who do not, without revenge and without a case to argue, because God is a far better defender of your name than you could ever be. Your only assignment is to keep your own heart clean, to refuse the bitterness that would poison the very home you are trying to protect. Guard your peace more carefully than you guard your grievances. That is how a covered home stays covered. And let me tell you what heaven is quietly settling in your home tonight, so you can rest in it. The restless nights that have plagued your household are being calmed. The sleep that has been thin and broken is being made deep and whole. The tension that used to greet the morning is being replaced by a mercy that is new every day. The conversations you have been dreading may soften before they even happen. The conflict that seemed inevitable may simply dissolve, diffused by a peace that arrives before the argument can catch fire. You may never even know all that heaven turned aside on your behalf, all the trouble that quietly passed over your house because it was marked. That is the nature of a covering. Most of what it protects you from you never see, because it is stopped before it reaches your door. So do not spend your energy imagining what might have gone wrong. Spend it giving thanks for the God who guards the house so thoroughly that you get to sleep through the very battles he is winning on your behalf. If you believe that what was sent against you is being returned to you as blessing, type, "What was sent against me is returning to me as blessing." Let me pause and speak to you plainly once more, as the ministry that carries these words. This covering reached you tonight only because someone before you gave so that it could. That is how it has always worked here. A chain of grace. One weary heart met and covered, and out of gratitude they sow, and their seed carries the message to the next frightened soul, who is met and covered and sows again. If the Lord ever leads you to become a link in that chain, sowing a seed of any amount so that the next family finds this protection waiting for them on their hardest night, know that heaven remembers every seed sown in love and returns it. The link is there for whenever your heart is ready, but tonight, your only task is to receive what has already been freely given to you. I want to speak now to the tiredness in you, because I have not forgotten the one I was sent to. You have been strong for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to be carried. You have been the covering for everyone else. The one who stays calm, the one who holds it together, the one who prays for the whole house, while no one thinks to pray for you tonight. I was sent for you. Put down the weight you have been holding. You are not the guard of this house tonight, I am. You do not have to keep watch tonight. The one who never sleeps is keeping it for you. So let yourself rest in a way you have not rested in a long time, because the protection over your home does not depend on your vigilance. It depends on his faithfulness, and his faithfulness has never once failed. I know how strange rest will feel to you at first, because you have been on watch for so long that stillness has started to feel like danger. When you finally slow down, a part of you braces, certain that the moment you stop holding everything together, it will all fall apart. Hear me, it will not fall apart, because it was never your holding that kept it together. It was grace, working quietly underneath your striving the whole time, catching what you thought you were carrying alone. So when you lie down tonight, and that old vigilance tries to pull you back awake, whispering that you need to worry about tomorrow, gently tell it the truth. The house is watched. The one who never sleeps is on duty, and you are finally, genuinely, allowed to rest. Rest is not you failing to protect your home. Rest is you trusting the one who protects it better than you ever could. The most faithful thing you can do tonight is not to worry harder. It is to lie down in peace and let heaven keep the watch it has been keeping all along. If you are worn out but still standing and ready to finally rest, type, "I am worn out, but I am still standing." He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. He will say of the Lord, "He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." That is from Psalm 91. Hear what that word shelter means. It means a home. It means a covering you live inside of, not one you have to run out and fight for. Tonight your house is being brought under that shelter. The one who commands armies has made your ordinary home his dwelling place, and where he dwells, fear cannot keep its lease. So the anxiety that used to greet you at your own front door will meet the covering now instead of meeting you. The dread that used to wake you at 3 in the morning will find a fortress where it used to find an opening. You are not living in an exposed house anymore. You are living in a sheltered one, and something changes about a home when God makes it his dwelling place. It stops being only a house and begins to become a sanctuary. The very walls that witnessed your hardest nights are now witnessing your covering. The room where you cried is becoming the room where you are comforted. The kitchen where you did the anxious math is becoming the place where you will one day give thanks for provision you did not see coming. Your home is being changed from the inside out, not through renovation, but through presence. And a home where God dwells carries an atmosphere that people can feel the moment they walk in. Guests will linger a little longer without knowing why. The weary will find themselves breathing easier at your table, because your home is becoming a place of refuge, not only for you, but for everyone heaven will send through your door in the seasons ahead. You have spent so long feeling like your house was a place you had to defend. It is becoming a place from which others will be blessed. That is what happens when the Most High moves in. He does not only protect the house, he makes it holy. If you receive that your home is covered by heaven, type, "My home is covered by heaven." And this covering was never meant to end with you, because heaven thinks in generations. The prayers of those who came before you, the ones who prayed over their households and never lived to see the peace they asked for, those prayers were not lost. They were stored, and part of what is being released over your home tonight is the answer to prayers prayed by people whose faces you may not even remember. And just as their faith reached forward to cover you, your faith tonight reaches forward to cover the ones who come after you. The patterns that troubled your family line, the anxieties, the lack, the cycles that seem to repeat in every generation are meeting their end in your house. What was handed down in struggle will now be handed down in blessing. The children under your roof, and the children they will one day have, will inherit a home that was brought under the shelter of the Most High, and they will not have to fight the battles you fought, because you stood in the gap and let heaven make your house a fortress. You are not only receiving a blessing tonight, you are becoming the turning point for everyone who carries your name. Let me show you how to walk in this covering gently, because it is not a burden, and it does not depend on your performance. You do not have to earn what has already been given, and you cannot lose it through one tired day or one weak moment. But there are simple ways to keep the atmosphere of your home aligned with the peace heaven has placed in it. Let your home be a place where thanksgiving is spoken more than complaint, because gratitude keeps the windows of a house open to heaven. Let it be a place where you speak life over the people in it, blessing them out loud even when they cannot hear you, because your words over your household carry weight in the unseen realm. And when tension tries to return, and it will try, do not panic and do not assume the covering has lifted. Simply return to the quiet you have found tonight. Whisper a word of trust. Remember the one who dwells in your house. The covering does not require you to be perfect. It only asks you to keep turning back toward the one who gave it, again and again, the way a plant keeps turning toward the light. That is all. Keep your heart soft. Keep gratitude in your mouth. Keep turning home to him, and the shelter over your house will hold. And do not be afraid of the change that is coming, because a blessing this real always announces itself before it fully arrives. In the days ahead, you will begin to notice the shift, a heaviness lifting that you cannot fully explain, a door opening that had been closed so long you stopped checking it, a person reaching out whom you had given up on, money arriving from a direction you were not watching. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are the evidence of a covering that has already been placed over your home. Heaven does not do accidents. When the good begins to arrive, receive it with open hands, and remember the night I stood at your door and told you it was coming. You have carried the hard season with a faithfulness few people could have carried. Now let yourself receive the season of favor with the same wholeheartedness. And notice how the shift will come, because heaven rarely announces itself with thunder. It will come quietly, in the ordinary texture of your days. You will wake one morning and realize the dread that used to meet you at dawn simply was not there. You will walk into a room that used to feel heavy and find that the heaviness has lifted. You will catch yourself laughing more easily, sleeping more deeply, breathing without the tightness you had stopped noticing because it had been there so long. These are not small things, my child. These are the fingerprints of a covering. A blessing over a home does not always arrive as a single dramatic moment. More often it arrives as 1,000 small mercies, accumulating quietly until one day you look around and understand that your whole atmosphere has changed. So do not wait only for the big sign. Watch for the small ones, and let each one build your faith, because each one is heaven whispering, I am here, I am keeping my word, your house is covered. You are marked, my child, and you no longer have to be afraid. If you believe it, type, I am marked, and I am not afraid, and understand what is truly at the center of everything I have told you tonight. It is not only that heaven has protected your house, or blessed it, or provided for it. It is that God himself has chosen to draw near to it. The peace, the provision, the covering. These are all gifts. But the greatest gift is the giver, who has decided to make his presence at home in your home. When the Holy Spirit rests in a house, everything changes. Not because the circumstances have all been fixed, but because the one who holds every circumstance is now dwelling within the walls. That is the calm you have been feeling as you read these words. It is not merely relief, it is presence. He is not standing at a distance waiting to be summoned by the right prayer. He is nearer than the air in your rooms, nearer than the breath in your chest. And he is not a demanding guest. He does not require your house to be perfect before he will stay. He came in while it was still messy, still tired, still uncertain, because that is exactly the kind of house he loves to fill. So do not perform for him. Do not clean yourself up first. Simply welcome him, and let him stay, and let his presence do in your home what striving never could. Where he dwells, fear cannot settle, lack cannot rule, and no darkness can keep its footing. His presence is the covering. His nearness is the blessing. Everything else flows from that. Before I seal this over your house, let me speak once more plainly as the ministry that brings you these messages. This word found you tonight because someone before you made it possible. That is the pattern here. Grace passed from one hand to the next, each covered soul making a way for the next. If the Lord leads you, become part of that chain, and sow a seed of any amount toward keeping these words of protection and hope reaching the homes that need them. Not out of obligation, and never as a price for your blessing, but simply as a way of passing forward what was freely given to you. The link is in the description and pinned for you in the comments. Thank you for helping Heaven's covering travel farther than one voice ever could. Now receive this sealing over your home and say it with me, out loud if you can, because your own voice claims what heaven has already granted, Father. I thank you that you saw my house before I ever knew it needed seeing. I receive the covering you have placed over my home tonight. I receive your peace into these rooms, your restoration over the ones I love, your provision into every place of lack, and your protection over everything that belongs to me. I set down the weight of guarding it myself, and I trust the one who never sleeps to keep watch. I speak peace over every room. I speak protection over every person who lives here, and over every person I love who lives elsewhere. I break every agreement my fear made with the worst outcome, and I replace it with trust in the one who has already covered this house. What was heavy is being lifted. What was broken is being mended. What was feared will not come to pass. My home is not exposed. My home is sheltered. My home belongs to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Feel that settle over your house now, the way a covering settles, quietly and completely. The rooms are lighter than they were when this message began. The air is different. Something has shifted, and you did not have to strive for it. You only had to receive. That is how grace works. It does not wait for you to be strong enough to deserve it. It arrives freely and asks only that you open your hands. You stayed until the end, my child, and that alone is a kind of faith, because most turn away before a covering like this can settle. So go now and go in peace. I bless the door of your home that nothing sent to harm would cross it, and everything sent to bless would find its way in. I bless the rooms where your family sleeps, that their rest would be deep and their dreams would be gentle. I bless the table where you gather, that it would never lack, and that it would become a place of laughter again. I bless the walls that have held your hardest seasons, that they would now hold your season of favor. And I bless you, the faithful heart who kept this home standing through everything, that you would finally feel held instead of only holding. Sleep tonight the way you have not slept in a long time, knowing the door is watched, and the house is marked, and the family is covered. I am standing where I was sent to stand, and I do not leave until the assignment is complete. And hear my final word to you tonight, the word God gave me to carry to your door. Tell my beloved, he said, that I have not forgotten a single night they kept faith in the dark. Tell them the season of striving to hold everything together with their own hands is ending, and the season of being held is beginning. Tell them their home is not a battlefield anymore. It is a resting place, and I have made it mine. Tell them to stop bracing for the next blow, because what is coming to their house now is not another storm. It is the calm after every storm they have already survived. That is the message I was sent to deliver. And now it is delivered, sealed over your home and settled in your spirit. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the reminder, so that when heaven sends the next word over your home, it reaches you. And share this with someone whose house has been heavy for too long. Someone who needs to know that protection has already been sent to them. And as your final word of agreement tonight, if your whole heart receives what God has spoken over your house, type, Amen. My house belongs to God. Rest now, chosen one. The blessing is already at your door.